Oh, yes, another time together. Another time together. So important in these days that we find groups, people that are of like vibration. It's very, very important. In this day and age, as the predator makes its moves very obvious, no longer in the shadows, working behind the scenes, the predator is shameless now, completely obvious and shameless. If you're an introvert, the instinct is to retreat, is to slam the door and I'm not gonna talk to anyone, the world is fucked. But if you can make an effort to connect with not like-minded. Like-minded will get you into trouble every single time. Like vibrationed people. Like vibrationed people. There's plenty of groups, online, offline is useless right now. Then do that. Your own vibration will benefit. Your spirit will be nourished, and you'll feel better. All right. So here we are. Welcome to the Nagual zone. I'm Anaam. Another live stream, and today we're talking about hard change versus smart change. Hard change is in the domain of the average man. Smart change is in the domain of the warrior. Right? Now let's recap this first. Let's go right back. If you exist, you are subject to change. That's the way it is. It's not a philosophy, there's no arguments there. There's no big books to write by Spinoza and Nietzsche and whoever. There's no big, nothing. You are changing and you will continue to change. If you exist, okay, in whatever form you exist, change is the only constant, as Gautam Buddha said, right? So what a clear divide happens right there between the average man and the warrior. The average man does not want to change. And you know this to be true. The average man will not change, doesn't want to change, and every time you ask them, do you want to change? They'll nod, yes, yes, yes. A room full of 100 people, if you ask them, who wants change in their life? And they'll all kind of raise up their hands, right? But the truth is that very few in that room actually emotionally in their feelings thrive on change. Most people resist change to the point of not changing even when they die. Hard change. Change is hard. I did another video a long time ago called Why is Change So Hard? Yeah? Go and watch that. This is kind of part 2 of that. And I'll give you a few examples to illustrate why the warrior's world is so, it's easy. It's not simple, but it's easy. It's an easy world, right? Or you could say the other way around. It's a simple world, but it's not easy. It's not easy for anyone anyway. So the average man will kick and scream every time change is required, never realizing that it's much easier to simply accept that change is going to happen in life. Change is going to happen. As soon as you get comfortable, life is going to throw you that curveball, as you call it in your baseball, or a googly if you're a cricketer, right? You can't afford to get comfortable and expect that state of affairs to just continue hoping and wishing that nothing rocks the boat. Oh, I was happy finally. I was so happy with her. Oh, I was so happy with him finally. Or oh, I had that job finally. I after so many years of struggle, I finally had my job, and oh my God, I got fired. Or oh my God, they asked me to do something that went against my conscience, but I did it because I didn't want the change. The average man will resist change every single time. I don't know why that is. Well, I know why that is. We all know why that is. But that's the way, that's why people whine about life so much. What they're really saying is, I don't want to change. Anytime someone whines to you, or you whine, every time you find yourself whining, indulging, why me, the big why me, or why now, or a combination of the two, why me and why now. If you can remember at that point that the problem isn't why me and why now, the problem is what you're saying is, I don't want to change, I don't want to change, I don't want to change, oh my God, I don't want to change, how inconvenient, I don't want to change, oh my God, that's hard, I don't want to change, I don't want to. And that's the loop that's running. On top of that, you are saying, oh, why me, why now, poor me, it was all so nice and now it's all, buggered. What you're really saying is, I don't want to change, I don't want to change, I don't want to change, I don't want to change. So instead of making it hard on yourself, make it easier on yourself. The warrior is just a bundle of common sense, really. The warrior realizes, okay, that way is not gonna get me the impeccable high quality energy that I need to make the jump to infinity, right? The warrior's priorities are very straight. The warrior is not here to live a good life, or a nice life, or whatever life it works for average men and women. The warrior is here for one reason alone, and make no mistake about it. Anyone who is not oriented to that north cannot, by definition, be called a Toltec warrior. They can call themselves whatever warrior they want. They do not qualify as a Toltec warrior. What is that true north? That the warrior never loses their eyes on that prize, the jump to infinity, the jump to freedom. For that jump to be able to take place in a high quality energy desert, the warrior learns to thrive by focusing constantly on honest, impeccable, high quality energy. Honest. Don't kid yourself into some kind of positive, oh, I'm a positive person, positive thinking. Got to be honest, right? And from honesty and honest self-expression, when you express yourself honestly, things will flow automatically in high quality energy channels. Okay? So remember that. If things are flowing in high quality energy channels, you're just being yourself. That doesn't mean indulging, by the way. Just being your honest expression. That has to do with an awakened conscience. Yeah, chew on that one. Once high quality energy is flowing incessantly and effortlessly in your life, you become the kind of person that generates high quality energy wherever you go. Right? You will see that you have enough energy available to make the changes that you need to make. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine, this is years ago, a friend of mine rushed out of the house. We were living together in a house in London at that point, and she rushes out of the house. Oh, I've got to go, bye Anaam, and off she goes. I think I was cooking something, whatever. And she comes back and slams the door, and I could hear like groaning and like, some painful sounds. I was like, she limps back into the kitchen, and I say, what happened? And she pulls up her trouser leg, and there's a big gash on her knee, and her knee is like really swollen, big gash. And she goes, I knew I shouldn't have done it. Those are the first words. I knew I shouldn't have done it. I was rushing headlong, and I just tripped like I've never tripped before, tripped hard, and I just went sliding. I landed on my knee and went sliding on like a Superman. I knew I shouldn't have done it. I knew I shouldn't have been rushing. So I tended to her knee. We did some EFT, emotional freedom technique. If you don't know what that is, it would behoove you to learn it thoroughly and become very proficient in it. Emotional freedom technique. So we did some EFT, and she found some ease, put some turmeric and honey paste on the thing. And that was the end of that. I think it was about a week, or not long after, a week later. Again, she'd gone off somewhere, and then she comes back and she goes, oh my God, you won't believe what happened today. I said, what happened? And she'd been limping. A limp is getting better now, but she's still like, it's sore and can't bend her knee properly. She goes, I was just walking along the street, just right outside the station. And as I was walking along, guess what she said I was doing? I was on my phone. I was on my phone. Okay. And these two young people on these really loud scooters, I don't know if you have these in other countries, but in the UK we have these young people. I don't know where they get these bloody scooters from. Those scooters make a hell of a noise. And they really rev it up and just go. Now, I'd do the same if I was their age. I did crazier things. And these two kids, they whizzed by, grabbed the phone off her hand, and whoosh, off they went. And because that loud noise of that scooter just kind of shocked her, and she was kind of like completely frozen, right? And she says, I was on my phone and these two kids snatched the phone. And I was like, yeah, you didn't change, did you? I was thinking that to myself. I never said anything to her because it is it's not up to me to explain the mechanics of this. But if someone comes to me and they've tripped and fell badly, that is life talking to them in the Toltec warriors world, saying to them, be aware where you're going. No need to rush. Be aware where you're going. Change your habit. That's what life is saying. Change your habit. Change right now, because the next time will be worse. Right? She didn't listen. She did not listen. The average man always changes through pain. Remember this. Really. The average man, it takes pain, sometimes death, and they won't change. Sometimes near-death experiences, NDEs, that will change a person. But something drastic has to happen before the average man will even consider changing. And believe me, 99.9% of the time, the average man will change out of panic. Out of panic. Think about it. Every change that you ever seen in yourself or someone else has come because you started panicking about the consequences, and then you had to change. From the outside, the warrior's life looks quite flowy to people. Wow, Anaam, I never see you cut your hand, or you never have any like accidents, or you never fall sick, or Anaam, life just kind of flows for you. You're always happy. Yeah. There's strategy behind all of that. It's called a sharp, awake awareness and living honestly, impeccably according to your conscience. That'll make you happy. Sending love from Eastern Canada. Colin, thank you for your high quality energy comment. I love it. I accept love anytime someone says something like that. How can you not pause and take it in, drink it in. So thank you for that. So remember this, don't wait till the panic button has to be pressed to change. The warrior preempts all of that. The warrior doesn't go down that route. It's foolhardy, it's a foolish person's route, right? Road. The warrior learns to change not out of panic or pain. The warrior learns to change out of knowledge. Knowledge. Not philosophies, not reading thick books and feeling like a big shot in your head. The kind of knowledge, the word that means for Toltec warriors, is a kind of knowing, a kind of highly developed instinct that makes the warrior change far before the point that the average man even thinks about that change is imminent. And so the warrior's life is just, the warrior is like that, like a great white swimming in the ocean, relaxed, just a sleek, streamlined creature made for one thing, killing and eating. The warrior is kind of similar in that way. Sleek and streamlined, no effort needed to glide through the waters. Always aware, always hunting. There's a lot packed in this video, so go back to this live when it's uploaded. And if I was you, I'd take notes and really contemplate the material here. It can give you the easy life. Don't wait for pain to change. You know, like she said, I know I shouldn't have done it. You know, that's knowledge. You know that if you don't change now, what's going to happen a month down the line, a year down the line, 2 years down the line, 10 years down the line, how you will end up dying. Anyone, any intelligent person can extrapolate and go, okay, if I don't change now, hoping and wishing for nice things to happen is not going to happen. The outcome is going to be destructive for me. Puts a whole new spin on those midnight snacks, doesn't it? Stuffing your gob with chocolate or ice cream at 12 a.m. on the night because you can't sleep. Life is constantly talking to us. Constantly. It's talking to you, it's talking to me. The only difference is I listen and I don't wait for pain. I go, what was that again? Oh, all right, okay, good, thank you. Off I go. Boom, it really, there's no gap between change for me and the moment I heard it. Because I'm like that great white shark. I'm always aware and always hunting. What am I hunting? I'm hunting high quality energy. I'm hunting for opportunities to enhance my awareness, keep it sharp, like the sharpest edge of a knife. These are my priorities. My priorities are not a job, pleasing the boss, paying my bills. If you have this stuff in congruency, if you train in it, repeat it till you master it, become proficient in it, all the other stuff that people worry about, the average man worries about, will disappear. You see? Do you see how it is all linked up? This stuff should be taught to us in school. But you'd have to hire warriors to teach. And believe me, they are an elusive bunch. They really are. They really are. If you knew the journey that I took inside myself to even make the first video, because it's a big step for a Toltec warrior to be available like this. It's a big step. You got to really be sharp and know what you're doing, because man, you're playing with forces that most warriors won't even go near all this. They don't even have phones. Do you know what I mean? They won't go near the matrix in the way that the Nagual zone, the channel works. So this is true education. This is true education. Professor Anaam. If you educate yourself, go to school with this. Spend the next months taking this in. All right, say, all right, this is part of my syllabus. I'm going to be as diligent in learning this as I was forced to learn algebra or just all the nonsense that the predator fills our brains with, our minds with, right? Go to school exactly like that. I did it. My apprenticeship was literally from miseducation to education. That's all it was. And you can do the same. You can do this. You can sharpen your awareness. You can stay away from distractions and keep your eyes on the prize. And you can do this. You just repeat the right way and you will get the right results. Repeat the right way, you'll get the right results. There's a certain way to do something, and that will bring you to predictable and expected results each time that are beneficial. And there's a wrong way or no way to do it that will bring you confusion and disappointment each time. It's like taking pieces of Lego or a big puzzle, one of those puzzles with, with those thousands and thousands of pieces that you have to painstakingly build it. There's only one way to build that puzzle. There's only one way, man. Hoping and wishing that there was some other way, or trying different things and trying to put everything in odd places. It doesn't even fit and go, yeah, right, I solved the puzzle, didn't I? No, you just proved you're a fool. That's all you did. Because you're a self-important fool and you didn't want to change. There's a correct way to do it. Do that, and you have a successful solving of, that you get the big picture of it and whatever it is. Man on the Moon or Marilyn Monroe, whatever these puzzles are, right? Horse running. So understand the true concepts, the true principles. It's all just common sense. And the only thing left is to stop your philosophies and stop your fucking debates and your mental masturbative nonsenses, and just spend those energies applying yourself to things that actually work. Really. Stop with the mind bullshit and just apply the ways that work. That's it. Your time will be better spent. You'll save a lot more energy, and you'll actually learn and you'll change. So, you know what? I'll take a question or two if anyone has any. So fire away on this topic. Stay on topic, because otherwise it just gets too unfocused. Today we have 36 viewers. It's drastically dropped off, but that's okay. I don't mind. Let's look at some comments here. Flora G, the meaning of availability, I guess, is different now with the internet, and maybe much more difficult not to be available. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It's not a problem for the warrior, because the warrior is elusive by nature. Really. Really. Try and get my email. I don't have a website. If you want to get in touch, then you'll have to really do some work. It's easy, but I still create that gateway that you have to come through, right? So And that's me wanting to be available. Let's see what people are asking. How can we deal with the fear of change? Yeah, excellent question. Excellent question. There's a great way to do it. There's a great way to do it. And it will virtually guarantee you successful change. You know what it is? Find someone who is not envious of you. And you'd be surprised how many of your best friends don't fit that bill, or how much of your family doesn't fit that bill. Find someone who will not be envious of you when you start succeeding, and ask them, would you like to hold me accountable? Because I would like to change, and these are the steps I'm taking to change, and I need someone to hold me accountable. In other words, accountability buddies. Fear won't be a factor after that, because you'll be working to be held accountable. So that's a great way to do it. Very practical. The trick is to find the right people. I'm sure there are Facebook groups and all sorts of internet groups that are accountability groups that, they're free to join. Just go right ahead. It's just a lock with 1,000 keys. Remember that, BK, a lock with 1,000 keys. A lock with 1,000 keys. That's how beautiful and kind life is for us, to us. What if I know that I need to change, but I don't know what? Great question again. Here, you have to learn the art of waiting. A warrior knows what they're waiting for. In your case, you'll be waiting for the change, for the opportunities, for the way forward, for what it is that you need to change exactly. What is the cause of the pain? Whatever it is, simply wait, keep your eyes open, keep your ears sharp, and keep your awareness switched on at all times, because life will tell you how to do it. And in the process, you will learn the language of life. You'll make a friend of life, because that friend's constantly whispering to you, constantly telling you, turn left here. Well, left is out. And you'll eventually, after much trial and error and much falling down, getting up, if you stick around with yourself and do the work, after many years, you will learn the language of life, which should have been taught to you in schools. And then you will be able to change very easily, like a fish. Whoosh, you'll go this way and that way, and really, it won't be a problem. Okay. Ian's made a really great comment. Read that one. It's a good comment. Can you please elaborate? John saying, can you please elaborate on the risks, fears you had to overcome to start teaching? That's perhaps another live or another video, John. And I don't mind doing it, but right now let's stay with change. When you find someone who's not envious of you, or will be envious of you when you succeed, it's amazing how people change, man, when you start succeeding. John Joseph is saying, how does the warrior navigate change driven by the matrix rather than by nature? Yeah, it's a very good question. I think you asked this before, John. It's a good question. How does the warrior navigate change driven by the matrix rather than by nature? Here, John, you've got to, you have to train yourself or find a benefactor, and you must arrive at the place of no pity within yourself, which in other words means the back of the victim must permanently snap. And that's the victim within you. That the victim's back must permanently be broken. And you must arrive at a place of no pity. You cannot do that if you struggle with self-honesty and you are not crystal clear what's happening within you at any given time, and you're able to acknowledge it and express it if need be. You understand that? So impeccably being honest will lead you to this. Okay. Annette asked a great question. What if you have a lot of possibilities of change? Which one to choose? Yes. Aha. Right. Let's go right back. You will die. You will die. Annette, you will die. You're on your way, but you don't know when. These are the two real life facts that the warrior accepts and the average man spends their entire bloody life denying in every way possible. People live like they will live forever, and they behave with each other in the same way. Right? You will die and you don't know when. You will. Now you know, okay, that shifts my priorities. I'm in prison. I was born in prison. I am dying, and I don't know when I will pass on. I have a limited time window. You'll be surprised. You blink an eye and your life is gone. I have a limited time window, and I'm in prison. Put two and two together. Your priorities must change. Pick the change that will lead you to make the jump to infinity, or at least lead you first port of call, losing the human form. Pick that change. If that is difficult for you to assess, then pick the change that will make you more impeccable somehow. That will force you into impeccability, force you into awareness. Pick those changes. You know what the average man will pick out of 5 possibilities of change? The one that either caters to his or her mating instincts the most. In other words, all the demands and subscriptions of the mating instinct. I've got 5 jobs lined up. This one gives me the most money. Oh yeah, that means I can buy a bigger house. I plan to have kids one day. And that's the average man's idiotic nightmare born out of ignorance. No one taught the average man how to move. The warrior will pick the change that forces them into more impeccability, looking at their self-importance, right? And it may not necessarily give them more money, but they know, yeah, this path is a path with heart, and it ticks all the boxes for my priority. Make sense? All right, let's move on. To sustain that, yes, very good. Peter, very good. Yeah, it's true that it's not a problem to get there, but to sustain that. Yeah, now we have you've changed, right? And now you know that I have to sustain this, at least till the time that it becomes ingrained within me, whatever it is. Remember, you are going to die, and you don't know when. You don't have the time. So stop indulging and faffing about and get on with what you know you need to do, because you do not have the time. You understand? When we align with reality, discipline will not be a problem. You will relish sustaining the good stuff in your life. You will relish. You will see it with your own eyes. Your life will just get better and better and better and better, and it's a upward curve that just keeps going and going and going, and you'll be amazed and delighted. But you've got to live as if, not as if, it's not an as if. You've got to live because you don't have the time. And it is humongously hard. Oh my God, it's hard to get out of that brainwashing that the Matrix puts us in. That sheer hypnotism of, I will live forever, and if I just hope and wish long enough, something magical will happen in my life. All right. John is saying, you will die and you don't know when. Any other tools to fast track change while staying sober? Thinking about ascetic practices to provoke. No, you see, someone far better than all of us sitting here tried that, arguably far better. Jesus' name was Gautam Buddha. Westerners call him Da Buddha, Gautam Buddha. He tried all this. He tried all the ascetic ways and starving himself and fasting and became really gaunt with the ribs sticking out and meditating for non-stop and blah, 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 blah. He could not unfuck himself even a little bit with all of that. Yeah. So I would urge you to trust yourself, trust the process of life. You don't need to fast track anything. Why would you? That's just so, that's so like, I want it and I want it now. I want my ice cream and I want it now. You don't need fast tracking. Nature has its own time and speed, and it's up to you to learn to fit into that. You understand? Okay. One final one and then we're going to go. A large shift is possible, but when a power is uncertain, how much hunting is going to be practical? Yeah, well, go for the wins that are guaranteed. A warrior doesn't live a hoping or wishing life. A warrior is not a gambler. A warrior is a professional investor. There's a big difference between investing and gambling. Big difference. One is expertise and know-how and experience. The other is kind of tomfoolery, really. Right? So once you have become a proficient investor of your time and energy in high quality returns, first get all the guaranteed balls in. Imagine you're playing snooker. Why would you pick a difficult ball to put into the hole? It makes no sense. People just like go, what kind of player is this? Go for the balls that you know they're going to go in, guaranteed. They're within your ability, and you know that, okay, that's a sure shot, back, off you go. Oh, that's a sure shot, patak, that one goes in. Okay, that's a sure shot, patak, that goes in. Do you know what I mean? Why make it difficult on yourself? It doesn't make any sense. The warrior is, that's why the warrior is efficient, because we use common sense, right? So I'm being a little bit abrasive here, but stay with the knowledge. Okay, all right. Last one here, definitely. What if I know where change is needed, but I don't know on what to change it? Didn't you ask that before? Is there a way to avoid pain and struggling and fastly figure it out? I see, okay. Figure it out faster. Again, it's the same thing. Why? Why would you want to figure it out faster? It makes no sense. Do you not trust in the process of life? You tell me. Do you not trust in the process of life? You think you know more than life? You think you know more than life. The Toltecs have a word for it. It's called hubris. Self-importance. There's no need to rush or hurry. If pain is here for you, learn to be present. Learn to be in each moment. Learn to not escape away from the pain. Eckhart Tolle's videos on YouTube are phenomenal for that. Learn to be in this moment. Once you stop running away from this moment, knowledge will open up for you. And you will stop wanting to have things faster. Here's a little tip for you. I'll tell you exactly why you want things faster. Because you're bored. You're bored. And I challenge you to spend as long as it takes, years if it takes that, to verify this claim. I challenge you. And then come back and say, okay, Anaam, I'm in a whole bloody journey on this, and I agree or disagree, or my experience was not what you said, or yes, oh my God, I don't know how to not be bored. Literally everything I do comes out of a deep-seated endemic boredom. So verify all this in yourself. I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for coming and attending. And I shall see you next week, same time. Either a live or a video, I don't really know. Meanwhile, walk in freedom. If you have any more comments, put them down in the comment section. And I shall see you next week. Bye for now.